Yeah, it was those in an 82 game season. I don't want us to accept losing, but the approach to the game, the effort, the build throughout the night, because I didn't think we were real strong in the first period. The build throughout the night, the holding on to our hands, the resiliency, those are all positives for us. But I don't want us to acknowledge that losing's fine, because it isn't. And there's some good things that we did. I thought we started very slow, and I don't mean slow as far as on our, not playing hard, but passing slow and receiving slow and anticipation skills and polish. All of that made us slow. We didn't anticipate well, and they had the puck a lot in the first period. I thought we got better as the night went on.
And their first goal, was it just a matter of lose a battle in the corner and then you kind of lost the battle?
Well, we lost a battle in the corner, but we still had numbers. We had layers of defenders. We did a poor job in that front, and it's in our net.
This team showing that it's pretty close to what it was when McDavid was here. Is that sort of important? Maybe more to people outside the room, because you guys didn't sound like you doubted it.
Yeah, no, maybe more to the people outside the room. Like, Connor's real important, and he would have been a great asset for us tonight with the pace early in the game. I think we would have been just fine with him. Jordan came back into the lineup, and that's a tough team to come back against when you've been out for 5 weeks. The game's flying, and it's going to take him some time. We knew that, to get up to game speed. It's a disappointing night that we lost, but we did some things well.
Did you notice the offside, or Jay, or did Miles notice the
Miles, between Miles and Jay, they do a tremendous job, and Miles notified us immediately that he thought it was a call, and Jay looked and Miles looked, and it was obviously the correct one.
You got the call on that, but what is your opinion on they get in the zone, they're throwing it around for like a minute, they score, and then you go back and look at the outside? Is that rule need tinkering, or do you like the way it's written?
I haven't had enough time to really think about that, to be honest with you. It's a hard rule to define, because how long do you let the offside go? Do you let it, if they stay in our zone for 10 minutes without a whistle and never come out and they score and it was offside, that's 10 minutes extra of a game. But that's the way the rule is. There has to be some definition to it, and that's how it's defined. We've finally, 13 games in, been able to use ours to our advantage finally.
It's your first trip around the calendar here. There's a thing that you're about to head on the road. It's called a rodeo road trip annually, and it's always a pretty important little span, and that follows with 2 home games and a whole bunch of away games. That's where the season went in the toilet last year. Can you talk? Is there anything you can tell Edmonton fans about where this team is? And
well, last year is last year. I'm not around, but our goal from camp was to put a foundation in place. It was to get the players to understand what our identity was going to be and how we want to play. And I think that our group, our tempo in practice, our intensity in practice has reflected that a little bit. Our play, while we're not good enough to win the majority of the games like we'd like to, I think our play is leaning and starting to show that. There's a huge focus on massaging or strengthening the mental part of our group. And you heard me 100 times now, hold your hand, hold your hand. We continually see that from our group. So there are some positive signs. We know what we're going into. We're going into a tough spell on the road, but that's okay. We'll go out and it'll be a new experience for us. We'll play against some hard, heavy teams, and we'll work on our game. We'll try and get better.
Do you use that 500 mark as kind of a benchmark, and you don't want to slip too far?
Yeah, we don't want to, now we're talking about results and we're not getting the ones that we want, but there's coaches in a million different sports talk about the process and all that type of stuff. It's important for us to be attempting to do things right and trying to execute things correctly and getting rewarded for it every now and then. The wins and losses will take care of themselves as they come, but that truly is our goal, is that process.
Nilsson played very well.
Yes, he did. Very good early in the game when we needed him, because we were slow. We were supposed to be a fast, hard, and supportive team. We were slow tonight, and their goalie gave us a chance to make a few adjustments, talk about things between periods. tinker with a few things so that we became fast. And the positive sign for us as a staff is the players do respond to that. They take the information, they go out and they try and apply it, and you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's positive that they're grabbing it and trying to go with it.
What do you think your young defense did against them?
Well, they, young and old, they talk about them as a group. That's a lot of speed coming at them quickly. And the 2 games we played prior didn't set us up for this game. And I think that's why in the first period we were on our heels a little bit. But as the game went on, I thought we adjusted better to it. We got a little more help from our forwards, and they weren't as effective as they were in the first 20.
You talked about the speed. Eberle talked about how fast it was for him in his first game. He said it took him a while to get going. How did you feel in it?
Well, I think Ebbs is a very honest player. It was flying around him pretty quick, and you know, his skill set's in tight areas, and that's hard visually and spatially to make plays when it's happening real fast and you're not used to that pace. But the good news is that when Ebbs is talking about that, I think he's also including our team as the game went on. We got faster, and so it's not just a reflection on Pittsburgh, but on our team as well. That game was moving. It really was, and we caught up to it in the last 2 periods, but it was a little too late.
Did you agree with the trip?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I didn't agree with it at the time, but I went back and watched it. It's the right call.